What is it? Could giant anacondas still be hidden in the Amazon? Ooh. Wait, ain't Agent doing ain't Agent in the Amazon right now? Let's check with Agent real quick. Let's check with Agent. Let's check with Agent. Did he go? What ain't he? Oh, I guess he's not live right now. I thought Agent went to Amazon.
People across the Amazon have reported encounters with enormous snakes. Creatures said to reach sizes the world has never seen
really
before.
crazy for not daring to fight back. If it's just you by yourself, then I understand. But if you with some other people, y'all better fight.
Anacondas moving silently through remote rivers and flooded forests. For a long time, the accounts remain little more than stories.
That's the only thing. Like, you better at least fight back a little bit.
Scientists uncovered something remarkable.
Help.
In the ancient Amazon rainforest, a giant
snake
lived, 15 meters long, the largest snake ever discovered. A predator that once.
Bro, you know what I really feel like? I really feel like, you know how like they making all these movies like King Kong, Godzilla, the Kraken, and all that. I really feel like all of them true, but it's just like they just not ready to come up yet, cause like it's no reason for them to come up yet, or like they sleep. Since they so big, you get what I'm saying? They sleep for a certain amount of years. That's like normal, and they up for a while. You get what I'm saying? And like, ain't some of them still froze? But I really feel like it's a lot of animals just way bigger than they supposed to be still walking around this motherfucker.
His name was.
We just don't see him on the daily.
Titanoboa, which raises an unsettling question. If the Amazon once produced giants like Titanoboa, could the conditions that created them still exist today? And if they do, how should we interpret the many reports of enormous snakes still seen in the Amazon? To answer that question, we must dive deep into one of the most mysterious ecosystems on Earth, the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon is the largest rainforest on Earth. It covers nearly 7 million square kilometers across several countries in South America. In sheer size, it reaches nearly the entire area of the United States. And across this enormous region flows the largest freshwater network on Earth. A labyrinth of rivers, swamps and wetlands that shape the entire ecosystem. Each year during the rainy season, large parts of forest flood. Vast regions transform into Várzea and Igapo forests, submerged landscapes that remain underwater for months. And this environment favors a very specific kind of predator, the green anaconda. Built for this world, it is semi-aquatic, comfortable in water, on land, and even in trees.
The anaconda is it's like OP as fuck. It could lay underwater, it could lay on land, chilling, or it could land from the trees. Like, the only thing it can't do is fucking fly. If it could fly, everybody would be fucked.
It's in murky water where visibility is close to zero. An ambush predator that uses its powerful body to suffocate its prey, drag it underwater, and drown it before swallowing it whole. And unlike many other predators, anacondas can survive by feeding only a few times a year. Then, it submerges again and disappears into one of the countless channels cutting through the Amazon. So, if any place on Earth could plausibly hide an unusually large anaconda, it would be the Amazon. And that plausibility is where the stories take root. Anacondas are the most massive snakes alive.
I think they can eat more than once a year.
The largest clearly documented specimens reach lengths of up to 6 meters. Modern field researchers, such as rainforest explorer Paul Rosalie, have handled and measured wild anacondas repeatedly across the Amazon basin. And discoveries are still being made today. In 2024, during an expedition in the Ecuadorian Amazon, joined by actor Will Smith, scientists documented an anaconda over 6 meters long, one of the largest ever.
Okay. Would y'all ever, like, for research purposes, would y'all ever, like, go to, like, the Amazon for about 3 days just to research, or like the antic for Koei
recorded.
I feel like
Genetic
if I
analysis
do it
during the expedition
just for the fuck of it, like
even more
you
surprising.
can only experience so much in your life, and
Anacondas
that's something
of northern South
I will
America
do.
are actually a separate species which diverged from the southern green anaconda nearly 10 million years ago. Beyond this size range, reports become increasingly difficult to verify. The largest anaconda ever scientifically documented is recorded by the Natural History Museum in London. According to their archive, this individual measured 8.43 meters in length and weighed over 200 kilograms.
A 27-foot anaconda. Damn 28. Nigga. Like, come on, bro. Like, if a snake get that big, imagine all the other animals, bro.
Difficult. Yet reports of giant anacondas in the Amazon extend far beyond their documented size. They appear across different centuries, cultures, and expeditions. During the 19th century, naturalists traveling through the Amazon regularly recorded accounts of snakes reaching 9 to 12 meters. Explorers such as Henry Walter Bates and Alfred Russel Wallace took these reports seriously and documented them in detail. Yet in their own expeditions, the largest anacondas they personally encountered were smaller. In 1907, British explorer Percy Fawcett reported encountering a snake he claimed measured more than 18 meters. No physical evidence was preserved.
Crazy.
Fawcett later returned to the Amazon on another expedition. He never returned. Around 1910, Theodore Roosevelt, former US president, offered a reward of $50,000 for a giant anaconda measuring over 10 meters delivered to the Bronx Zoo. The reward was never claimed. In the modern era, the sightings did not disappear. In 2016, a report from Pará, Brazil, described an anaconda measuring over 10 meters discovered during construction work, but the observation was never fully documented. Across more than a century, the same pattern remains. Not enough to confirm, not enough to dismiss. And that raises a deeper question. Would it even be biologically possible for a predator of that size to exist?
Yes.
The answer is
I feel
not
like you can
theoretical,
find it. Like,
because
if they
around
just low-key
60
don't
million
want to
years
be
ago,
bothered for real.
during the Paleocene epoch.
Bro, if y'all really think about it, people go into the wild to kidnap these animals and take them and try to put them in zoos, but get mad at the animal for killing one of the people that go to the zoo. You get what I'm saying? Like, somebody fall into the goddamn
the ancient
thing.
Amazon rainforest. Its fossils were discovered in the Cerrejón coal mine in northern Colombia. First uncovered in the early 2000s, the snake was formally described in 2009. And Titanoboa was not some distant outlier. It belonged to the boa family, the same group that includes modern anacondas, same lineage, same constricting anatomy, just on a scale the modern world has never seen. Titanoboa reached lengths of up to 15 meters, with a body diameter approaching 1 meter. Estimates suggest it weighed more than 1 metric ton. This was the largest snake ever documented in Earth's history. Scientists believe Titanoboa fed on large caimans, predators that were already present in the Amazon region at the time. And its existence proves something crucial, that under the right conditions, snakes are capable of reaching extraordinary sizes. But how do snakes manage to become that large? For many years,
I feel like, you know how, like, when you grab an animal and it got to go in the tank, I feel like the animal only grow the size of, like, how, depending on how big the tank is, they can't outgrow the environment. I feel if you leave an animal out there, like an animal out there that's like that for so long, they could grow to however big they want to get.
I believe the explanation was simple: temperature. Snakes are cold-blooded animals, and their growth is strongly influenced by environmental heat. During the Paleocene, when Titanoboa lived, the tropics were warmer than today. At first glance, that seemed like perfect explanation. But today, many researchers argue that temperature alone cannot explain such extreme size. Instead, the answer may lie in the ecosystem itself. The ancient Amazon looked different from the rainforest we know today. Large parts of the landscape were dominated by vast wetlands and slow-moving river systems, far more extensive than in much of the Amazon today. These enormous wetlands could sustain huge populations of fish and other aquatic animals. And in these waters lived other giant predators, crocodiles from the ancient family Dinosauridae. Some of these animals
Crazy, by
reached
the way.
5 to 6
Crazy name,
meters
by
in
the way.
length.
Who named
So
all the
Titanoboa
animals?
was not the only massive reptile living in this environment, which leads us to the central question. Could the modern Amazon still support predators of that scale? One clue comes from crocodilians that live there today. The largest recorded black caimans have been measured at nearly 6 meters in length, which suggests that even today the Amazon ecosystem can still support predators almost as large as those that lived here millions of years ago. But could it also support a giant snake? In fact, it already does. The anaconda is the largest known snake alive today. Pythons may reach similar lengths, but their bodies are far slimmer. Anacondas can weigh roughly twice as much. But even the largest recorded anacondas still reach only about half the size estimated for Titanoboa. So does that mean an anaconda could never reach such sizes? Not necessarily. Individuals approaching the extreme limits of their species are exceptionally rare. For every giant individual, there are thousands of smaller ones. And if any living snake is built to push the limits of size, it would be an animal like the anaconda. Anacondas are semi-aquatic. They can hunt deep underwater, but also far inland. This gives the anaconda access to an unusually large pool of prey. And unlike many other predators, reptiles such as the anaconda continue growing throughout their lives. Biologists call this indeterminate growth. As long as the animal survives and finds enough food, it can keep increasing in size. And anacondas can live for 2 to 3 decades. So from a purely biological perspective, a snake like the anaconda could reach very large sizes. And there is another important factor that distinguishes the anaconda from many other snakes. The anaconda spends most of its life in water, and that changes the physical limits of body size.
Crazy.
Normally, as animals grow larger, movement becomes more difficult. Gravity places increasing stress on muscles, organs, and the skeleton. But in water, buoyancy supports the body. It is no coincidence that the largest animals on Earth, like the blue whale, live in water. Water removes many of the physical limits that gravity places on giant bodies. It does not create giant snakes by itself, but it helps explain why the heaviest living snakes are found in rivers and swamps. So if any living snake could ever grow close to the size of Titanoboa,
It's in a
it
swamp.
would be an anaconda in the Amazon rainforest. And that raises an obvious question. If animals like this could theoretically exist, why has no physical evidence of them ever been documented? The answer may lie in the environment itself. The Amazon is vast, dense, and extraordinarily difficult to access. A recent study from 2025, based on 12 years of field observations in the Peruvian Amazon, revealed just how elusive these snakes really are. Researchers attached radio transmitters to several anacondas, allowing them to track the animal's exact locations. Yet even when scientists knew precisely where a snake was, it was rarely visible. In only 17% of recorded locations could the anaconda be seen without uncovering it. Most of the time, the snakes remained completely hidden beneath logs, inside dense vegetation, under riverbanks, or even buried beneath leaf litter with only their nostrils exposed. But detecting the animal
See,
is
that's
only
crazy.
one part of
Man,
a
should
much
walk
big
through that
puzzle.
motherfucker
The
and you
Amazon is
just
one of the most challenging ecosystems
get
on
in.
Earth to study. Most scientific infrastructure exists only near settlements and major waterways. Reaching remote tributaries or flooded forests can require days or even weeks of travel by boat. And once there, conducting long-term research becomes extremely demanding. Beyond these accessible areas lies a vast world of flooded forests, remote rivers, and dense wetlands that have never been systematically surveyed by scientists. In places like these,
Literally.
even very large animals can remain unseen for long periods of time.
Like, think about it. If you spend like some time in the Amazon, you gotta worry about jaguars, all the other land of cats, the mosquitoes, the ants, the spiders, centipedes. We gotta worry about the insects too. It ain't just the big animals. You gotta worry about the insects too, because the insects is dangerous as fuck. Don't they got one of the most dangerous frogs out there too?
Normally, fossils would document
Fried.
that history, but in the Amazon, they are largely missing. Why? Because tropical rainforests are among the worst environments on Earth for preserving fossils. Heat, moisture, and acidic soils rapidly destroy bones. Most animals that die here leave no trace at all, and even when fossils do survive, they are extremely difficult to find. Dense vegetation hides the ground, and rock layers are rarely exposed. Only in rare environments, where sediments quickly bury remains, can fossils survive and later be uncovered. Titanoboa happened to be discovered in exactly such a place. All known Titanoboa fossils come from a single location, a coal mine in northern Colombia. One place, in a region that once covered an enormous part of South America. Eventually, Titanoboa disappears from the fossil record, which is why it is assumed to have gone extinct.
Right.
But in a place where fossils are rarely preserved, the full picture of the past remains incomplete. So the question comes, if we could explore other deep layers of the Amazon rainforest, could we find more Titanoboa fossils from later periods? Or perhaps the remains of other giant snakes that lived here after Titanoboa? Creatures we simply haven't uncovered yet. Because in the Amazon, some stories remain only because the forest.
I feel like it's a whole new line of animals that we don't know about because them, like, once somebody figured it out, they got. So yeah, I don't think ain't no new discoveries about like some major animals coming into town. So, well, okay. What are three?